Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another video. Today we're going to be talking about the interesting Cristiano Ronaldo incident that took place last night as Manchester United managed to beat Tottenham by 2-0. But because it's Cristiano Ronaldo, because of the way he acted, and because of what happened within the incident, that has obviously overshadowed what should be a pretty happy occasion for Manchester United, a pretty celebratory moment for Manchester United, a big moment under obviously their new manager Erik ten Hag, and obviously the way that Manchester United are trying to rebuild themselves. It seems to have been stolen by this Cristiano Ronaldo incident. Is he entirely to blame? I don't believe so, and I will go into why later on in this video. Before we go any further, I would like to remind you to please like the video and also subscribe if you're new. Both things are always and forever be greatly appreciated. But for now, let's talk about this Cristiano Ronaldo incident that took place last night, because it was a little bizarre, and obviously the mainstream media have not stopped talking about it ever since. But for those of you who've been living under a rock or just not seen it for whatever reason, the incident took place last night. It was in the 89th minute. Manchester United were leading Tottenham comfortably by 2-0. It was probably the best performance under Erik ten Hag since obviously he took over as manager. It was a very good Manchester United performance, capped off with a couple of goals, and United were rightfully leading that game and were rightfully winning. And then in the 89th minute, cameras panned over. Cristiano Ronaldo, who was on the substitute bench for the entirety of the game, storms off down the tunnel. Now, it's seen as a bit disrespectful. It's seen as a bit unprofessional from Mr. CR7, because obviously the game wasn't over yet. He didn't join in with the celebrations of his teammates. He didn't go over and applaud the fans. He didn't do any of the usual professional stuff that normally takes place at the end of the game, whether it's home or away. He just basically went off down a tunnel, unhappy that he wasn't taking part in the game. And look, I can understand to an extent where he's coming from. You know, he hasn't got this far in his career by just sitting on the bench, being happy with sitting on the bench, being happy with just taking part or whatever that may be. He's got where he is because of this hungry mentality of wanting to be the best, wanting to be the main guy, wanting to obviously be the hero at the end of the day, the hero of the whole story. And I get that to an extent, and Ronaldo's been used to that over the years, whether he's been the kind of guy building himself up at Sporting Lisbon, the guy continuing his development at Manchester United the first time around, whether it was the guy that really became the best or really started to reach that pinnacle of the best in the world at Real Madrid, or whether even it was at Juventus where he, you know, started the slight decline, but at the same time was still posting really exceptional numbers despite his growing age of individual stats in terms of goals and assists and everything. And now obviously he's at the second time round at Manchester United. Last season he was one of if not the main guy, scoring 18 goals, had the best goal scoring output despite the fact United were very poor that season in what was a bit of a car crash of a season. He's obviously still thinking of himself as the main guy, when obviously that's not necessarily the actual story right now. The actual story right now obviously is Erik ten Hag has come in. He's got a group of players together. He's getting them to play better than what we've seen of them in the past few years. He's got these new players in which are starting to gel in slowly but surely. It's phasing Ronaldo out, and it might sound daft to say, because obviously what we've known of Ronaldo these past 7 months is he's seemingly wanted out of Manchester United for a while, and Erik ten Hag was seemingly pretty happy to grant him that wish, but the Glazers again made a poor mistake in keeping him. And obviously I can say that from the outside looking in, because that's how it looks to me. I don't know if anyone has more inside information or anything, or many Man United fans have actually seen the situation unfold firsthand and everything to suggest that I'm wrong or to suggest there's more to it. But it's kind of on both sides, I think. Like I say, for Ronaldo to lash out in that kind of way, in a way, I don't think is professional. I don't think is right in terms of doing what's best for the football club and everything. But at the same time, I can understand where he's coming from in terms of his mentality and in terms of him being where he's at in his career right now, where obviously he's facing a losing battle with time. In terms of obviously the flip side of that, the Glazers side, the club side, if they'd have just granted him his wish rather than try and milk him for every kind of bit of merchandise, shirt name and everything else that goes along with that CR7 brand that they could possibly get, the money, the cash, everything else that goes along with it, this kind of thing wouldn't have happened. You know, United should be celebrating what was a very, very, very good performance and obviously a very good win against the Tottenham side that we know on their day can be very difficult to beat. Instead, we're here talking about what happened to Ronaldo at the end of the game. We're here talking about why he stormed off down the tunnel with only a few minutes left, why he didn't stay with the group of players that were on the pitch, why he didn't stay with the fans that had obviously paid their hard-earned money to obviously go and watch the game. We're not talking about the good side here, we're talking about the bad side and the negative side. And like I say, I'm a Liverpool fan, so I'm talking about this from a bit of a rival's perspective, but I'm trying to be as neutral as possible. You know, the Ronaldo stuff could come back to hinder Manchester United. If things go drastically wrong for them in terms of injuries, in terms of suspension, in terms of whatever else may occur that may bring Ronaldo more and more into the spotlight, it could come back to bite Manchester United, and it will only be the Glazers and the club that will obviously be at fault for that. And even more so, obviously, now than ever, because of obviously how the club is, the club has made moves and getting Ten Hag and getting some good players in. More and more of the focus of shift is not on the manager as it has been previous years or the players. It's more turning towards the Glazers and everything. And I think, you know, if I'm to speak from neutral, that's good because there's no way that they're running the club well. There's no way they're running the club with the fans' best interests at heart or everything like that. It's being run for monetary gain that's going straight into their pockets, and we can all see that. As a rival fan, of course, I'm going to say, keep at it, keep going like that, Glazers, because I don't see United as a massive threat to winning major league titles or anything along those lines whilst they're in charge. I see other teams getting there. I see, you know, Liverpool could easily return. Manchester City will obviously be strong. Newcastle will be stronger in many years' time. You know, Arsenal are going strong right now. You've got Chelsea that are making moves to come back stronger than ever. So I just don't see it like that as them going to be very, very strong contenders. They might be contenders. They might be in the conversation. They could even be in the conversation right now as being title contenders. But I think with the way that the Glazers run things, with the way that they make these kinds of decisions on their key players, their icon kind of players, if you like, the players that are big names that will draw them a lot of attention, and of course with that a lot of money. I just want to say that they should continue, really. But if I am to be neutral, I'm obviously going to say that the Glazers milked it. They milked this situation in particular. And if this obviously continues where Ronaldo's not going to be up for selection, if this continues where Ronaldo is going to slightly be unprofessional and everything, then United have only brought this on themselves. And, you know, whilst it's not great on Ronaldo's part either, he is such a big and overall general superstar of the modern game that obviously it's not going to affect him too much. it's not going to affect everything that he's done in his illustrious career. It's not going to affect anything that he's done on the pitch, off the pitch, anything along those lines. Ronaldo will still be Ronaldo at the end of the day. He will still be a club legend. He will still be a role model to so many youngsters. Not going to affect him that much, is it? But again, like I say, the downside is here, for United at least, is that we're talking more about Cristiano Ronaldo and his actions rather than the actions of the players on that pitch that performed very well yesterday and of course got a very big win indeed. Erik ten Hag has since come out and said that he will deal with it today, so we'll see what happens within the fallout of this, whether there was a genuine reason, whether it's going to be some more Man United spin on the matter, something along the lines of maybe he was doing some warm-up stretches or whatever it may be, or and he felt something go or something along those lines. I highly doubt it. I don't know if they can spin this one. This one did look pretty bad on Ronaldo's part, but again, like I said, I think the bigger picture here is that the Glazers didn't allow Ronaldo to go when he wanted to, because obviously United didn't get Champions League football and Ronaldo wanted to continue at the height of his career, to be at the pinnacle in what obviously is the twilight of his career, it seems. The Glazers didn't let that happen, the club didn't let that happen, even though it was given the green light seemingly by Erik ten Hag and everybody else. So the Glazers kind of dug their own grave on this one. But of course, those are just the thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it. This guy, I want to know what you guys think. What do you make of the Cristiano Ronaldo situation last night? What do you make of the Man United performance last night against Tottenham, in which they were 2-0 winners in that game? Of course, a very, very good performance from Manchester United, I have to say, unfortunately. But like I say, I'll always be fair and firm on this channel. So I would love to know your guys' thoughts or comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it, on the Man United performance and the Cristiano Ronaldo thing down below in the comment section. I'm sure it'll make it interesting reading. Otherwise, hit that like button on the way up if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you're new, want to see more content like this. Both of you always incredibly greatly appreciated. And as always, thank you all so much for watching and listening. I've been Fletch. This has been another Fletch Talks video, and I will see you all again soon.